So after what was the single most painful pack opening I've ever done in my entire life, one, two, three, four, 5, 6 copies of Nadir Servant we do not need. Get Guardian we don't need. We don't need this trap card. We don't need this trap card. We don't need all 5 copies of Trivy-Karma. Sorry, 6 copies of Trivy-Karma. I finally managed to put together this deck list. And by put together, I mean from the 19,000 or so gems I actually spent on stream, I actually managed to only pull 3 of the ultra rares. Not 3 playsets, 3 singular cards from this entire deck list. This meant I had to craft the entirety of it by hand. I spent about 19,000 gems to craft this deck list, and still, I had to decraft some extra cards afterwards. I'm in pain. But now I have all these cards, I might as well show you guys just how to play this deck list, so you too can be reminded that you're trying to play a combo deck in a game where Maxx exists. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before getting to the deck list, if you guys are enjoying today's video and want to see more content just like this in the future, especially if you're a returning viewer, so apparently about 35% of you watching this are even subscribed to the channel, means 65% of you haven't even subscribed yet. So if you guys are enjoying this kind of content, or see more deck lists from me in the future, or more videos from me in the future, remember to like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel down below. Also, I do plan to make a post-ban list Zodiac video, which will come out either a few hours after this one, or tomorrow, depending on if I have enough time. So if you do want to see that, remember to subscribe, and let's jump into this deck list. Alright, so today's deck list is obviously going to be Mannadium. Now Mannadium is a combo deck, so right off the bat before doing anything else, we've included 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Called By, and a Crossout, because obviously we're playing Master Duel, we're paying for the Maxx C tax, otherwise we're going to have a really bad time trying to play a combo deck. So just straight off the bat before doing anything else, we've included the Maxx C tax, and that's kind of unfortunate. Maybe one day Konami will actually ban this card, and we can actually play some variety in our deck lists. But anyway, the entire goal of this deck list is pretty similar to how Dinosaur play, where you want to pop the baby, only in this deck list, you want to pop the bull, or whatever you want to call these things. Either of your level 2 monsters, when they are destroyed, will summon out copies of themselves straight from the deck list. Fearless, when destroyed, will summon out another copy of Fearless from the deck, and it will give your Synchro monsters a 500 attack boost during the battle phase. Your Meek, when destroyed, will summon out another copy of Meek from the deck list, and can then choose to adjust this card's level by 2, making it level 4, which is pretty important because it helps you go into your level 8 Synchros or your level 10 Synchros a lot easier. And both these cards, not hard once per turns, so you can keep summoning out and keep looping your level 2 straight from your deck list, which is very strong at generating a shit ton of value. Now to destroy these cards, you have a whole bunch of options. First of all, we have your Visa Starfrost. This thing can just target a monster on the field with a different attribute and a different type, destroy it, summon itself. These things are both fit the requirement. Destroy them, summon your Visas, summon out another tuner from your deck list. We have your Riumheart, again, can just target one of your Mannadiums on the field, destroy it to summon this thing to the field, which will then trigger their effects, summoning some dudes. And when this thing is normal or special summoned, you can search for a Mannadium card from your deck list. Then we have your Abscission. Again, this thing's just to target a card in the field and destroy it, so you can target either of your tuners, destroy it, to then search for your field spell from your deck list, or if you already have the field spell, you can grab something like your Counter Trap or another Mannadium Spell Trap card, whatever you feel like from your deck list, and yeah, just search for that instead. Then we have your field spell. This thing, when it's activated, can add one of your Mannadium cards to your hand, or a Visa Starfrost, and also, if you destroy one of your tuner monsters whilst this thing's on the field, it can actually revive back one of the tuner monsters as well, so generating even more value. And that's basically it for the main sort of cards in this deck list, the main new Mannadium cards. We also run one singular copy of Imaginings, but this thing is purely a hand fixer that you can search for if your hand is got some stuff in it you don't particularly want and you want to shuffle back into the deck list, or you just want to draw some extra cards, because that's all this thing does. It reveals a Mannadium monster or Visa Starfrost in your hand, draws 2 cards, and places 1 from your hand on the bottom of the deck list. So it's just a hand fix you can search for. Maybe if you don't want to search for your counter trap and you already have the field spell, you can search for this thing instead and then just sort of fix your hand a little bit. Moving on to the extra deck, we have a couple of new cards to go through, starting off with your fusion monster, your Vicious Astraloud. This card, if you have a Vicious Starfrost or 1 monster with 1500 attack or 2100 defense in your graveyard or on your field, you can actually just special summon this thing straight from your extra deck by banishing those cards from the field or the graveyard. It cannot be destroyed in battle. If this card is special summoned, you can target one of the monsters on the field and just destroy it. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to half of that monster's original attack and defense. Very important card, especially considering we're playing Cross Sheep. So part of the combos, as you'll see during the combo portion, will be just to summon this thing below the Cross Sheep's arrow, to revive stuff back from the graveyard, and just generate a whole bunch of value again. You'll see it all during the combo portion. Alright, the other new card is of course going to be your Bystial Dis Pater. This card is fantastic. 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner dragon type monsters, level 10. When you can target 1 banished light or dark monster, special summon it to your field. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target one of those banished cards, shuffle it into the deck, then if you shuffled it into your deck, destroy that monster, or if you shuffle it into your opponent's deck, negate the activated effect. You can use each effect once per turn. So this card's fantastic in this deck because it combos super well with this card, which of course banishes stuff, so then when you summon this level 10 to the field, you have plenty of resources to use for its either its destroy effect or its negate effect, and of course you have plenty of resources to summon stuff back as well, generating a shit ton of value again. And that's also it for the new cards in this in the extra deck for this deck list. And as for the rest of the deck, it's honestly just a bunch of cards you've probably seen before, and if you haven't seen them before, you'll see them during the combo portion anyway, and you'll sort of understand why I'm playing them. Like if you're wondering why I'm playing the Hero Lives in here and a copy of your Prisma, it's because Prisma can actually change its name to a copy of Starfrost, making it so you can summon your Link 1, which turns into a whole bunch of combos, as you'll see during the gameplay portion when I show you. So rather than talk any more about this deck list and confuse you guys anymore, just watch the combo portion and you'll know how this deck list functions and just what to do with your cards. Alright, let's jump into these combos. So obviously with this deck list, there is a shit ton of combos I could possibly show you, and obviously I can't possibly fit every single one of those combos into this video, as it would just take way too goddamn long. And to be fair, I don't really need to show you every single combo anyway, considering this deck list, once you've seen a couple of the combos and sort of got a feel of how the cards work, you can probably build your own end fields anyway. You don't really need someone to show you a combo guide once you've just sort of seen how most of the cards function anyway. And a lot of the combos are very, very straightforward. It's just keep clicking yes until eventually you end on your end field. You'll see what I mean in a second, but it's not the most advanced combo deck, despite having quite a lot of steps in some of its combos. So first combo I'm going to be showing you is a 1-card combo, and the reason we're playing a Hero Lives. Alright, so activate this card's effect. And keep in mind, this is not using your normal summon. Alright, summoning out your Prisma. Alright, Prisma going to be able to change its name by revealing the Vicious in the extra deck, setting the Starfrost to the graveyard, turning it into a copy of your Visa Starfrost. And now we can make a copy of your Scareclaw. Alright. Scareclaw now going to be searching for a copy of your spell card. Activating your spell card. Spell card's now going to be grabbing a copy of your Reichheart. Special summon out your Reichheart. Reichheart's now going to search for the only possible target in the deck list, the revive spell. And then we're going to summon out a copy of Cross Sheep. And this is about as advanced as the combo is getting, summoning a copy of Cross Sheep. Because we're going to hold on to this spell card for a little bit. Alright, now because we have a Cross Sheep on the field, we obviously want to do a fusion summon to revive from the graveyard, so we can summon out a copy of our fusion by banishing these 2 cards from the graveyard. Making sure to put it below the arrow, of course, to trigger the Cross Sheep. Alright, not going to use this card's effect because there's nothing to target. Summoning back this card because obviously it's typical Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not a hard once per turn. Can send another copy of your Starfrost by revealing another copy of your dude in the extra deck. Alright, now we're going to use the Arrival. Reviving the Visa Starfrost. And before going into the Baron, because we need a Visas on the field to do so, we're going to summon this card out beforehand. Alright, give us 1 extra material for the Appaloosa in a second. And now we're just going to make a copy of Baronne De Fleur. and of course, ending on Appaloosa. Now, obviously, looking at this field, it's not the most advanced field. You're probably looking at this and it's like, just Appaloosa, just Baron. That's not exactly the most insane end field. But remember, this was done with one card, and we haven't used our normal summon. As you can see, I've got this dude, I could summon him, I could use our extra spell cards, plenty of other things you can do with this hand, just showing off it's a one card combo, and it just generates a shit ton of value with this deck list, which is why we are running it. Alright, on to our second combo. This one's going to be a 2-card combo using your Abscission in combination with your Fearless. So first thing we're going to do is normal summon the Fearless, or set the Fearless, then we can pop it. Because most of your combos, they do need a copy of Visa Starfrost to work, and this is just a way to get a hold of Visa Starfrost. Because you pop the card on the field, searches for the field spell, and summons out a copy from the deck list. Kind of like how in Dinosaur you keep popping the baby, in this deck list you want to keep popping the Fearless. Alright, now we can activate the field spell, which searches for your Starfrost. Alright, grab me your Starfrost. And Starfrost, like I said, it wants to pop the baby, so we're going to pop the card on the field. Alright. Treating both effects, one of which is going to summon the card back from the graveyard, and the other is going to summon out another one from the deck list. So, activating this card's effect, activating this card's effect, bringing the two level 2s to the field. Alright. Level 2, and level 2. Alright, from here we're going to go into our Link 1. Alright, Reichheart's going to obviously search for the other field spell. And this is once again going to search for your Reichheart. Alright, now we can summon this man to the field. Activating its effect, I once again search for the Monster Reborn. Alright, now we're going to make a copy of your level 6. Just giving us an extra card draw. You don't actually have to do this, so if you don't want to run this card, you don't have to run it. I'm just running it because I like getting an extra card draw, but you don't have to run this card, but oh yeah, we just run it anyway. Alright, drawing an extra card. From here we can now make a copy of our Accel Synchro. Alright, Accel Synchro, of course, going to be summoning a copy of the level 2. Alright, now you can use the Accel Synchro's effect to tribute itself, summoning out a copy of your Stardust Dragon. And again, you don't actually have to use this Stardust Dragon either. This is more of a safe bet against certain Nibiru plays and other lines of play, but it also makes this summon a lot safer, as this card can no longer be affected by your opponent's stuff during this turn. But you don't have to play this Stardust either. You could just skip straight ahead using just the level 8 and level 2 and just straight up to hard summon this card. But in this case, we're going to yeah, do it this way. Alright, now we're just going to use our Monster Reborn here to summon back a copy of either of these two, doesn't matter which, because it's going to be turned into a copy of a Cross Sheep. Alright, making our Cross Sheep. Alright, now we have the Cross Sheep on the field. We can now summon out, of course, the Fusion Monster to trigger the Cross Sheep's effect. Banishing these two, making sure to put it below the arrow. Also making sure the Synchro Monster's below the arrow too if you want the extra attack buff. Again, not triggering this because you don't want to pop anything. Summoning back a level 2. Alright, from here, because we have a card banished, we can use the Bystial's effect, it's now active. And we can summon back a copy of our Starfrost. Which also means, because Visa's Starfrost on the field again, we can now summon back the level 1. Putting that on the field. And from here, we're just going to make a copy of your Baronne De Fleur. Before finally making a copy of a 3-mat Appaloosa again. So ending on not exactly, not much different of an end field to the previous one, but we're now going to end a copy of your Bystial guy for some disruption, your Baron for disruption, and of course another 3-mat Appaloosa for more negates. Alright, on to the third combo. This one's going to be a little bit longer, so bear with me. I'm going to use a copy of your Meek in combination with your Riumheart, or however you pronounce this card's name. Now, I forgot to mention with the other combos, but obviously when I do my combo tutorials, pretend the rest of my hand is all just complete and utter bricks, and just forget what they are. Pretend these are all just like Ash Blossoms or something, and just focus on the 2 cards I'm trying to showcase. So, 2-card combo using these 2 cards. Alright, so first I'm going to do, summon out the Riumheart. Riumheart's going to give you a search. Grab me a copy of the popping spell card, your Abscission. Alright, now a bit like just like the other level 2 monster, we're going to want to pop the Meek as many times as possible, a bit like popping the baby in Dinosaur, to summon out more copies of the Meek from the deck list. So special summon the Meek to the field, because we have the dude on field with the 1500 attack and 2100 defense. This guy can special summon himself, and now we can pop him using the spell card we just searched. Alright, searches for your field spell, and of course, summons one from the deck. Now, unlike with the previous combo on that other monster, this one can actually adjust its level, increasing its level by 2, making it a level 4 monster. Alright, now we're going to activate the field spell. Field spell is going to be searching for a copy of the Visa Starfrost. Alright, now before making the Visa Starfrost or summoning it, we're going to summon out an Accel Synchron first. Alright. Oh wait, Accel Synchro, sorry, not Synchron. Same archetype. Alright, this thing's going to summon back the level 2. Placing that on the field. Ready to be popped with the Starfrost. Alright, popping it. Summoning the Starfrost to the field. And triggering both of these effects. We're going to summon 2 cards to the field. One from the graveyard, and of course, one from the Meek. Alright. So Field Spell's going to revive from grave, and the Meek's going to revive from deck. And in this case, we don't actually care about making it a level 4, because we're not going to need to... We don't need a level 4. Alright, summoning it here. Alright, so we don't really care about that. Alright, now we're going to make your Link 1. Alright, your Light-Heart's now going to give you a Surge. Grabbing you a copy of your Field Spell. And of course, your Field Spell is now going to give you a copy of your monster, which is of course going to special summon itself and search for your Revive card. Same as you've seen previously in the other combos. Alright. Now from here, we're actually going to get an extra card draw, of course. We're now going to make a copy of the Cross Sheep. And we're going to make sure to try to free up these 2 zones for summoning things in a second. Alright, now we can activate this card's effect. This will summon back the Visas, which is fine because we're going to use this to make a Baron in a second. And because we have the Starfrost on the field, we can summon back the Light-Heart. Alright, now with the 6 and the 4, we can make our first of our 10s, making our Baronne De Fleur. Putting him right here so we can get the attack boost in just a second. Alright, triggering the... Oh, not triggering the Cross Sheep just yet. Now we want to use the Accel Synchro's effect, which will of course summon out your Stardust. Then Synchro summon into your Bystial. And again, not going to put it underneath this arrow because we're going to need that for the fusion summon in a second. Putting him over here. Alright, before now, summoning out a copy of your fusion monster by banishing your 2 dudes. Alright, placing him underneath. And this will now trigger your Cross Sheep, of course. Again, not triggering this because we have no targets. To summon back your Reichheart. Now we have 3 monsters here. We can instantly turn into a copy of your Appaloosa. And because we haven't used your Bystial's effect, we can actually summon back a card from the Banish pile, which will give us another level 6 and another level 4, which of course means we can make another level 10, which can be whichever level 10 you feel like. You can make your Swordsoul if you want, or you can make your Chaos Angel, and because it's made with a light and a dark, you'll get both of the effects, the thing that makes your monsters unaffected by monster effects, and makes them unable to be destroyed by battle. And because we have a lot of Synchros, that's a pretty strong effect to have on the field, so we're just going to summon that over here. And that's going to be your end field. You can have a Chaos Angel, of course, not going to trigger its effect if you have no targets. We have a Chaos Angel making all your stuff unaffected. We have your Bystial to destroy stuff, potentially, because you have something banished. And we have Baronne to negate things, and your, of course, Appaloosa to negate things, and still have a whole bunch of cards in hand to potentially be hand traps or other extenders if you want to go even further. Alright, on to our fourth and final combo example. This one's going to use a copy of your field spell in combination with either your Riumheart or a copy of your Frost, whichever one you open. Doesn't matter which, because you can just search for the one you're missing using the field spell. Alright, field spell is going to search for the Frost, because obviously we already have the Riumheart. Grabbing you a copy of your Frost. Alright, now we can summon out your Riumheart, searching for your Meek. Ready to be popped by the Starfrost. Alright, summoning the Meek to the field. Activating the Starfrost to pop the Meek. This will trigger both these effects, one to summon from the graveyard and one to summon from the deck. By the way, it's very good practice with this to summon most of your monsters in defense position, because obviously when you summon out the Reichheart later on, you're going to want to get the extra card draw. So summoning out the two dudes. This one we're going to make level 4, because now we want to summon out your Accel Synchro. Just making sure I click the right card there. Alright. Put this guy over here. And this, of course, will summon back the dude from graveyard. Alright, now we can make a copy of your Link 1. Which, as you've seen before, it's just going to be searching, which is going to be searching, and then searching again. So, grabbing your field spell, grabbing your Reichheart. Which is going to be summoning, getting a card draw from, and getting another search. Grabbing the revive spell, which we're not going to use for a little bit. Getting a card draw. And now with the cards on field, we can go into a copy of our Cross Sheep. Using one of the level 2s and your Scareclaw. Alright, now we're going to go into the Fusion Summon. And actually chaining to the Fusion Summon, we can use the Accel Synchro. It doesn't matter when you use this Accel Synchro's effect, you can use it earlier or later, but the longer you save it, it makes it a bit safer into potential Nibiru plays. So your opponent activates Nibiru, you can chain this card to it, and do the Synchro Summon, summoning out the monster that's immune to your opponent's monster effects. Alright, so here we're going to summon out a copy of our Fusion Monster, using the two cards in the graveyard. Putting it right below the Cross Sheep arrow. Which is of course going to trigger the Cross Sheep. Not going to use the Fusion Monster effect, but we are going to chain the Accel Synchro to it. We are going to use this now though, because of course we want the attack buff from the Cross Sheep. Alright, summoning out the Stardust, trying not to sneeze mid-recording. Alright, this is going to summon out your Fusion Monster. Alright, putting it below the Link arrow. And our Cross Sheep's going to summon back one of your level 2s. Alright, from here we can go into a copy of your Baronne De Fleur. Alright, we're going to use the Dis Pater to summon back a copy of your Visa Starfrost. And of course, because we have Visa Starfrost on the field, we can summon back our little dude from here. We have a level 6 and a level 4, so we can make another level 10. Again, doesn't matter which, it's up to you. In this case, Chaos Angel's generally better because we have so many Synchros on field. And we can use the Light in the Dark. So we're going to summon this to the field. Then we have a final extender because we haven't used it yet. We can activate our Arrival. Summoning back, whichever one doesn't matter because we're going to just use it for Appaloosa material. And there is your Appaloosa. And there you go, a fairly similar end board to the previous one, just had a bit of a different start, and we have a whole bunch of cards in hand once again. We got our Negates, we got our potential removal, we got a Chaos Angel making these cards unaffected, we got a Baronne Negate, and a bunch of cards in hand, which is basically, your opponent's not going to play through this in most scenarios. So that's going to do it for today's little combo video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, like I said, there's a billion other different combos you can do with this deck list, different combinations, but most of it's just sort of learning how the deck list functions, then just building your own end fields using the cards you have, especially considering in most actual games, your opponents can have various hand traps or different things that's just going to sort of make you have to be a bit more creative with your combos, but in general, it's just going to end on the same sort of end fields, and it's not that difficult, despite how long some of these combos seem. So, if you guys enjoyed this, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I have a Zodiac video coming out either later today or tomorrow, so remember to subscribe for that. Thank you guys for watching, hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.